Hello, it's GCSE Physics Explained. It's another video from my No-frills playlist. These videos are designed if you've got a test coming up and you just want to know how to score marks. Nice quick videos to increase your understanding. This video is Velocity Time Graphs Part 2. Make sure you've watched Part 1 first before you watch this. Right, so the main things we need to know is that the area under a velocity time graph tells us the distance travelled. We've got to know how to calculate the area under a velocity time graph and know how to work out the area of complex shapes. A little recap. What does the gradient or slope of a velocity time graph tell us? We said it was acceleration. And that'll get you 1 mark in an exam. How do you work out the distance travelled on a velocity time graph? For 1 mark in an exam, you tell the examiner you work out the area. The area under a velocity time graph tells us the distance travelled. Okie dokie, well, how do you calculate the area under a velocity time graph? From the last video, if you've got a velocity time graph, you've got a straight diagonal line that basically shows that the object is moving with a constant acceleration. That's because the rate at which the velocity is increasing is constant. Right, so this is going to create a triangle shape under the graph. And if you've got to work out the distance travelled, we need to work out the area of that triangle. So, from maths, you'll know that the area of a triangle equals a half times by the base times by the height. So, for example, the area of this triangle is a half times by 10 times by 7. And that's going to give us 35. Now, make sure you remember to half it. There's a lot of students forget to half it. If you don't half it, you're going to work out this area as well as this area, and we don't want that top part there. So that's where the half comes from. How to calculate the distance travelled for an object moving with 0 acceleration? Well, if an object's moving with 0 acceleration, it'll be a flat line like that. So this is moving at a constant speed of 7. So that is going to create a rectangle in this case. Sometimes it might be a square. But it doesn't really matter because the formula is the same. To work out the area of a rectangle or square, you just do the base times by the height. For example, this rectangle it's got a base of 10 seconds, or a base of 10, and it's got a height of 7 meters a second. So 10 times by 7 is 70, and that'll be in meters. How do you work out the area of complex shapes? So what if you rock up to an exam and it says work out the area under this graph, right? So this is an object is accelerated at a steady acceleration, and then it's travelled at a steady speed, steady velocity, 0 acceleration. So using what I've just taught you before, you need to have the confidence to be able to split this shape up into a triangle and a rectangle. And once you know that that's all you've got to do, then it's easy, isn't it? So get the area of the triangle, you just do a half times by the base times by the height. So that'll be a half times by 5 times by 10, and that comes out as 25 meters. And then we need to add that to the area of the rectangle, which is a base times by the height. So the base goes from 5 to 20. So that is 15. And the height is 10. So 15 times by 10 is 150. So the total area is the area of the triangle plus the area of the rectangle. 25 plus 150 comes out as 175 meters. Thank you very much. And that's it. Let's try a little bit more of a complicated one, but it's the same thing. It's about having the confidence to split a shape up. So what about this question? What is the distance travelled by the object between points B and C? Right, so basically we need to work out all of that blue bit. and it looks quite complex. Can we split it into two simple shapes? Why, aye, of course we can. Alright, it's just a triangle on the top bit and then a rectangle on the bottom bit. So the rectangle's got a base of 3 and a height of 10, and the triangle has got a base of 3 and a height of 60 because it goes from 10 up to 70. So get the area of the triangle, a half times by the base times by the height. So that's a half times by 3 times by 60, which is 90 meters. And then the area of the rectangle is your base times by your height, which is 3 times by 10. And that comes out as 30. Remember to add them together to get the total area, and that will give you your total distance. All right, so there we go. In order to get the distance travelled on a velocity time graph, you've got to work out the area. Now, all of that is what you need to do to get level 6s and above. I think it's dropped into the foundation tiers as well, so this will get you your high level 5s. Okay, so a little summary. Have a look at that. Pause the video if you want to have a go of it. And here's the answers. A velocity time graph can be used to calculate the distance travelled. If the object is moving with a constant acceleration, the area under the graph will be a triangle. If the object is moving with 0 acceleration, so constant velocity, the area under the graph will be a square or a rectangle. So there's been about 14 marks worth of content that we've just covered there. Again, velocity time graphs are quite a popular question that the examiner will ask you, but there's no guarantee that it will be on. But if it is, you should do well, because you're developing your resourcefulness and your initiative, your ability and willingness to find things out for yourself by searching out videos like this. So well done, you're increasing your success. Nothing further ado except to say work hard and be nice. Bye bye for now.